Yep, we got some good work done yesterday. Had really good practice and thought that there was good energy and enthusiasm out there, especially for an off week. And weather was great, and I thought the kids really competed. So we haven't been able to rep a lot of our younger players. Haven't played a conference schedule, a tough schedule so far. So we got some extra reps for our twos and threes, and tried to work on some really specific things for our ones, and give each kid kind of a goal objective for the week that they could improve on, and we're going to go back out there today and try to get better today.
First up, we have Anthony Dasher of GeorgiaSports.com.
Morning, Coach. I just want to kind of get your thoughts on how Kendall Milton has looked so far this year, and even with as good as the Mirrors played, is Kendall kind of putting himself in position to, I don't know, perhaps start getting even more reps than what he already is?
Yeah, he's earning some playing time. I think you saw that probably last game. He played earlier than he has been playing, and makes really good cuts. He's got good vision. Every opportunity he's gotten, he's kind of taken advantage of and grown with it. It's really unfortunate that he hasn't been able to contribute more before now, because he had a hamstring. He had two hamstrings. He had a hamstring early in camp, and then when he came back, he pulled it again. And he's such a intense worker that a couple times we just had to slow him down, because we felt like that's why the hamstring bothered him. We'd be trying to do walkthroughs, and he was going full speed and pulled it. But I've been really pleased with what he's been able to do. He's physical, downhill runner. I think he's trying to really protect the ball better, and that's something that all freshmen have to get used to. And obviously the protections in the pass game is something that he's improving upon as well. But I've been proud of him. We asked him to do some things in special teams that he's never done, and he's like learning them really quick between punt return and kickoff return. He's learning how to compete in those drills, and that's carrying over to his confidence at running back.
Thank you.
Next is Dan Wolken of USA Today.
Yeah, Kirby, November 3rd is obviously comes during a big week for your team. Just curious, did you have any opinion on the NCAA making that a mandatory day off, and how does that sort of impact preparation for Florida?
Well, our players have been very adamant and been very active socially and really in our community in terms of serving the community and expressing their opinion that they want to vote and make a difference. And we brought people in to speak to the team about awareness, how to do that. A lot of it's not even about necessarily how to vote as much as it is, what am I basing my decision on who I vote for on outside of, all the elections, the local elections, the state election. A lot of them don't know the candidates. So we try to educate them on that and let them make the best decision that they think fits them. And that day is going to be dedicated to that, and that's kind of where we are.
Next is Bailey Johnson of the HAC.
Hi, Kirby. I just wanted to ask you a little bit about Aziz Ojulari. Just sort of what have you seen from him this year, and how would you assess how he's been playing?
He's extremely tough, extremely physical, very disciplined, one of our core leaders. He just, when you have guys that do things the right way, like he practices the right way, he goes to class, he attends all his appointments, when you evaluate a person from on and off the field, not just physical performance, he checks all the boxes. And then on top of that, he's a really good athlete, and I'm proud of the way he's working and the growth he's made, and I think he's better right now than he was this time last year, and that's what you're looking for in terms of development.
Next is Gene Finetti of the Florida Times-Union.
Hey, Coach. Could you what we're seeing so far in the SEC in terms of scoring, where it seems like point totals in the high 30s, low 40s, and even higher than that are winning games now. In some cases, even losing squads are scoring in the 30s. Do you see that as an outlier as a result of a year in which practices were missed in the spring, or do you think that this is simply where the SEC is going because there appear to be more and more quarterbacks now that are advanced enough to be able to come in right away and run an offense with remarkable efficiency.
Yeah, I wish I had the answer for that. I don't. I don't honestly know. I mean, I have my opinions. I try to keep them to myself because they're not always. They're more reflective of how I feel about our team and our program, and not the entire SEC. But I don't think using no spring and less fall as an excuse is really fair, because the offenses didn't have that time either. And people would argue, well, the offense can go out on the air and run their plays, and defensively you need someone to react to. You need someone to tackle to get better and do those things. Those fundamentals of good defense are block protection and tackling. And you don't get to do those as much, but they don't get to do them either. They don't get to get tackled or blocked. So, I don't really know. I really just don't think that the defenses in the SEC are maybe as good as they were last year in terms of the personnel, the people playing on them. When you look at them, there were some really good defenses, I thought, that lost some good players, and trying to replace those guys. But I don't know what to attribute it to. I certainly think that the offenses are gaining ground and scoring more points across the league. That's very evident.
Thank you.
Next is Bob Holton, the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Hey Kirby, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, I had a defensive. I asked about Arkansas's defense. I know they gave you guys trouble for a while, and before you guys kind of piled it on here late in the game. And I don't know if you've gotten to see any of their highlights against Ole Miss. I know you obviously had a monster game last week yourself, but just wondering what your thoughts might be on Arkansas's defense and what Barry Odom's doing with those guys.
Well, Barry, first of all, did a tremendous job on defense at Missouri. I always thought his guys were extremely physical. They played really hard. They're very sound in what they do. I've been able to watch a couple of their games this week as we prepare for opponents coming in the future that they crisscrossed with, and I just got a lot of respect for how they play. And he's always done a really good job defensively. That's his background. That's what he played, and I know he takes a lot of pride in the way his guys play.
I don't know if you got to see, Sam was on Scott Van Pelt last night. I mean, it's usually like you see, I don't know, Major League Baseball players or NFL guys or something. I didn't know if I necessarily see Sam on there. Did you happen to see that? If so,
I didn't. I didn't even know he was on there, but I'm very happy for him, and he's so deserving, and he's doing a great job over there.
Thanks.
Coach, we'll finish up with Steve Moulton at WZZN.
Hey, Coach. Appreciate the time. Hope you're doing well today.
Thanks.
What do you think you learned out of your team the most coming out of the game in Tuscaloosa?
Well, it's very glaring. It's the things we needed to work on, in terms of defensive penalties and defensive explosive plays, and then, offensively, that we can't get in a boat race where we're trying to outscore people, and we got to, play our brand of football and allow and help Stetson with the people around him. Probably the number one thing, but look, we definitely didn't play our best game, but at the same time we were playing our best opponent. The best level of competition we've gone up against was certainly there, and that's how you get better. You got to go out and compete and play, and we actually did some things better than we've done in other games. We're just doing it against a lot better competition, and we got to improve this week. And I've really been pleased with the attitude and approach of the guys thus far.
And at the quarterback position, I'm wondering how JT Daniels is progressing, Coach.
Yeah, JT's going out each day, working. I think his mobility is getting better as time goes through, and he's moving around. He's taking a lot of reps and growing, and he's competing just like DeJuan is and Carson is.